Hello. Welcome to the coronavirus update video number 36.0. Today's date is the 20th of April, 2020. And in fact, today at 8:20, 20 seconds exactly, it will be 2020. So kind of interesting fact there for anyone who is interested in that. For those of you who are new to these videos, welcome. My name is Adrian and I've been basically doing these for the last 36 days, every single day, a new video updating you guys who live in Spain, all the latest news here in Spain about coronavirus and any rules that have been changing and adapting, and of course keeping you guys up to date as possible. But not only keeping you guys up to date, I think we've become definitely a small group here who are able to help each other. I see a lot of people on here able to comment and answer a lot of the questions that I've answered in previous videos before. So for you guys doing that, for the long-time listeners, I thank you, because you guys are helping me out a lot, especially when I've got a 3-month-old now in my house, and very short amount of time. Okay, so at the start of every single video, I like to do a quick rundown on these statistics and the stats here in Spain. So as of today, there are 200,210 people infected. So we have reached over 200,000. And of course, a lot of people are saying, well, why is this still so high? Well, in the last 24 hours, there are 4,266 cases in the last 24 hours, and this is due to the quick tests that have been happening. Now these quick tests that have arrived in Spain about 2 weeks ago now, they have now been distributed and they are still arriving in many hospitals and many health services as well. So for example, the frontline workers such as doctors, nurses, most of these will be getting them if they are showing symptoms. As well as all the residencies as well, for example, nursing homes, a lot of the people who live there will also be tested as well. So yes, this number is still going to start going up, but it does not mean that there's going to be more cases of infection in the sense that people are showing bad symptoms. It could actually be that some people are asymptomatic and they don't actually show any symptoms whatsoever. So this is basically testing them to see if they have it. If they have it, then of course they are sent home and they are put on lockdown for 14 days. Okay, so as for recovery rates, we are 80,587 people in total, and that is 3,230 over the last 24 hours. A great number to see as well, but 80,000 on the recovery rates. This is almost half of the people who have been infected, which is really good numbers. And of course, we always talk about the deaths here as well. So far, there have been 20,852 deaths in total in Spain, and this is 399 over the last 24 hours. Sorry. Again, great numbers to see, because this is in fact going down. As I said, they are sticking around the 400 at the moment, but hopefully this will start going down over the next couple of days. We'll just have to see. I've also got some other statistics here as well. For the people who are infected, there is 15% of them, that is 31,000 people who are infected, are actually health service workers, people on the front line, doctors, nurses. So again, crazy number to think that these people are putting their lives on the line for the help of other people, and yet they are still at high risk of catching the coronavirus. And in total of these 31,000 people who have been infected or as health service workers, 40 of these have unfortunately passed away. Okay, so as we are, again, live every single day at 4 p.m, I always like to go through the latest news, talk about the fake news as well that has come out, and basically everything. But what I'm going to be doing at the start of this video, I'm actually going to be doing a rundown on the frequently asked questions that I'm still receiving, because as of today, we had over 500 new followers just in the last 24 hours. So a lot of these people have not seen my previous videos. They've not seen a lot of the articles that I'm posting on this page daily. So they might not be aware of the rules. So I'm going to quickly just spend 5 minutes just going through the up-to-date rules and basically from the decrees that came out in the 14th of March, as well as the newer decrees that came out. And this information is on the government official website, which is boe.es, BOE.es. So if you guys can, if you're watching this right now, if you can share this to anyone who might not know about these videos and maybe a bit unsure on the rules, send this video to them right now, because I'm still getting questions on a daily basis of people asking questions that I thought I would have covered, but yeah, they're new followers, so I understand they might not have seen the videos. Okay, so basic rules. Dog walking. Yes, you are allowed to walk your dog. It should be one person to walk that dog. If you have 2 dogs or 3 dogs, again, it should be one person to walk that dog. We have had people saying, well, if there are 2 people and 2 dogs, can they walk together? No, they cannot walk together. However, you will be allowed to go in separate directions. As long as you're not meeting or anything like that, you should be fine with this, okay? But it should be one person walking a dog. As for distance, now, again, there has not been a written rule of distance as in the meterage. However, we've heard directly myself from Guardia Civil, an agent on the Guardia Civil, he is enforcing the 50-meter rule. Now, they've put in different areas, different types of rules, but as we stand where I am, and I'm enforcing this, and this is the rule that I'm sharing with you guys, it's 50 meters away from your property. However, they do say a close radius as well. So this is why they enforce the 50 meters, because this is classed as a close radius, okay? The people who have been saying that they've been fined because they were walking their dog right in front of their house, but because they have a guard and they've been fined. Again, I don't know if this is 100% true at all, but what you can do, you can actually fight this after the coronavirus lockdown has been lifted. You can go to court, and of course, you will probably win this because it's not been written in the royal decree that people with gardens can't take their dogs out for a walk. So you can fight this and you will most likely win, okay? Communal areas. This is a big one and I'm still getting questions about this. Can I go for a walk in my communal area or communal terrace on our apartment block? No, all communal areas should be off limits. The only permitted ones will of course be the entrance blocks to an apartment, the entrance doorway, and the hallways in an apartment block as well. All other areas are basically off limits, and this includes public swimming pools or communal swimming pools. So no, you cannot go for a swim or even walk around that communal area as well. The next one, no exercise is permitted in Spain. I know a lot of other countries, they have lifted up the exercise rule and people are allowed to go out for an hour a day to do exercise. In Spain, this is not the case. You are not allowed to go out for a walk, to run. Unfortunately, this is not allowed, okay? Construction sector. Yes, construction workers are allowed to go back to work. So people, builders, for example, you are allowed to go back to work. However, there are certain rules that you have to follow. And this was last Sunday, not yesterday, but the previous Sunday, a new decree came in that the construction sector, builders can only work on properties where there are no people living in that property, or you will not have contact with the public, as in communal areas. So we basically sum this down to 2 different things. If someone is working on a villa, it has to be a villa that is not occupied by anyone. Even if there is people in there, living in there, and they will not contact you because you're working on the outside, it doesn't matter. That is the rule that was put into place, and this is the same for painters as well. You will only be able to paint properties that are not occupied at the moment, okay? And as for apartments as well, a lot of people have been asking about, can we work in an apartment? I'm a kitchen fitter, blah, blah, blah. As for the royal decree, no, you will not be able to work in an apartment because this actually, it states in the royal decree that you are not allowed to go into any communal areas transporting materials, etc., using lifts, stairs. So this could not actually happen, okay? Right, the next one, utilities. Utilities, there is no help offered at the moment for utility bills. There is of course funding and benefits, but I'll go into that in a second. And utilities cannot be cut off during the emergency state, or the state of emergency, sorry. So if you have problems with utilities, and this would be water, electricity and gas, I'm not sure internet will be classed as the essential utility, but I actually think it should be. But you should not be cut off. It is illegal for them to cut off any gas, water or electric if you have not paid your bills during the state of emergency, okay? Benefits. Yes, there are benefits out there. Now, of course, I've been bombarded with messages about people asking, what benefits can I get? I'm a single mum or I'm unemployed. Let me quickly run down. If you are self-employed and you have been working in this country for any period of time, you are eligible to apply for benefits. Now, we're not sure whether you're going to get it because, of course, it depends on the sector that you are working. But yes, you are eligible to apply. Anyone who is working on a contract, you should automatically have been put onto ERTE, which is basically the government temporary leave program. So basically your contract is still in place, but you are put on temporary leave, and the government will be funding your fees through ERTE, E-R-T-E. Now, a lot of people have been asking that they've been working in a bar, they haven't had a contract, are they allowed to get anything? Unfortunately, no. The only way that you're going to be able to receive any benefits whatsoever is if you've been working in this country or you're a resident in this country, and you have proof of paying your taxes or anything or something like this in Spain. If you have been working in Spain illegally without a contract, not paying taxes, you will not be allowed to get any benefits. I'm very sorry about this. However, speaking of benefits though, there are some new rules that are going to be coming in. We're still waiting for the Vice President to announce this, but he's basically put a plan to put into place, and this has been approved now, but it's going to be a basic income, and it's basically anyone who's earning lower than 200 euros will be allowed to get this benefit, or if a household income is lower than 450 euros, you'll be eligible for this this benefit as well. We still don't know the details of this, so please bear with me. Do not message me and ask me about details of this because I don't know yet. As soon as we know how to do it, when to do it, and where to do it, we will let you know, okay? Who can work? So we talked about the construction sector. They're allowed to go back to work. All self-employed workers are allowed to go back to work in different circumstances. So for example, hairdressers, you are allowed to go back to work. However, this should only be for people who are elderly, disabled, or vulnerable, as in they're not able to wash their hair themselves. That's basically it. Lawyers, solicitors, you're all allowed to work. You can work from home if you want to. Office workers as well, you are able to go back to work. However, there should be strict rules with this. You should be at least 2 meters away from each other or from a co-worker. I'm trying to think what else. Restaurants and bars. Yes, restaurants can open. Of course, they have to get some sort of application from the town hall. You will have to sort this out yourself. But you'll be able to do delivery service from your restaurant to homes around you. Okay, so this is another benefit there. There are just millions of other sectors that I could go over, but the best thing to do is to go back onto this page. I've posted a couple of times about the jobs that can and can't work, so research that. That's going to be the best thing, okay? Can my husband take me in my car? No. One person in a car, there are certain rules that you can follow. If you're going to, for example, hospital appointments that are essential and we classed as you not able to drive after the hospital appointment, then yes, someone can take you. This is not a problem. Can you go to a supermarket in twos? No, this is illegal and you cannot do this. The only way that you can have someone take you to the supermarket is if you are elderly, vulnerable, or disabled, or a minor. And that's the only way that you can have 2 people in your car. Now, yesterday or day before yesterday, we talked about workers going 2 people in a car. Yes, this is permitted, but they have to have certain, it has to be a company vehicle to basically say that you are going to work, and you have to have proof that you're going to work and employed, obviously. Shops are still closed. Now, when I say shops, I mean, for example, clothes shops, jewelry shops, hardware shops. These are all closed to the public at the moment. The only things that should be open at the moment are pharmacies, supermarkets. Opticians are open as well, but make sure you call for an appointment. Vets are open and dentists are open as well. There's definitely going to be a few more that I've missed there, but those are the majority ones that are open. Masks. Masks are not mandatory. You can wear a mask if you want to. It's basically like a security blanket. I must admit, when I go out to do a weekly shop or a fortnight shop, I do wear a mask and I do wear gloves. One, because I've got an infant in my house and I don't want to have any risk whatsoever. But it's actually a safety mark because on these videos, you probably noticed, I scratch myself. I've got a beard. I itch. I touch. So yeah, if I'm out in public and I just have that reflex just to do that, it's going to happen. So I prefer to have that protection just in case. So no, masks are not mandatory, but they are something that you can wear if you want to, okay? And basically the last thing that I'm going to talk about right now is wash your hands. That is literally the best advice that every government has been giving. It's just to wash your hands frequently when you go to the toilet, after you touch a pet. After you've been outside, wash your hands. Simple as that. Okay, Let's move on with the news. I'm glad you guys have watched this because I think a lot of people are going to find that information very, very useful. So share this out to any people that may not have seen this because like I said, we had 500 followers in the last 24 hours. So these people are going to be new to these videos and that's the first time they would have seen this, okay? And wow, we're on 1,600 live viewers at the moment. Wow, I wonder if we can get it to 2,000. Okay, so with the statistics, we talked about the stats in Spain, but actually France at the moment, they are increasing their rates at the moment, and the death rate is only 1,000 behind Spain. So it's kind of crazy how they're allowed out to exercise, yet their numbers are not in the slowing down at the moment. So it's again very, very scary to think of the other countries that are not really locking down 100%, whereas Spain we are, and we can see the numbers dramatically fall, which is good. Right, we'll move on to fake news. So, of course, every single day, for some reason, there are news organisations out there, media, that are sharing headlines. And it's not necessarily the articles that are false, it's the headlines that are false. And the one that we've seen today that has been coming out, and I've been tagged in it, posted, messaged, it's basically Spanish restaurants or Spain restaurants and bars to close until winter. No, this is fake news. Again, this is all about what happened with over the weekend. A lot of people were asking me about the hospitality industry, as in the tourism industry, hotels, bed and breakfasts, restaurants, bars, etc. They're all going to be closed until winter. No, this is not the case. This has never been said by any government official. The only way that someone has actually said this was from the health minister, and they basically said that they're going to be this is a proposal. It's not actually put into place or anything. There's two phases. The first phase will be the beginning of June, where most things will start to open up. And then she said the second phase will not happen until winter, when normality will continue. So basically they said that we will not be back to normal until winter. But yet, of course, these media and news organizations, they say that Spain restaurants and bars are closed until winter. No, again, it's so fake to read this information. So the best advice I can give you, read the article fully, but don't share this information until you have the correct information, or unless you know it's coming from factual sources. For example, government official websites is a great source that you can follow. I always follow M332. It's a page run by Guardia Civil. Great information, and it's factual, which is always really good, as well as following the government pages as well. It's just very, very important to get the correct information before sharing it on, because of course I saw today, it was on a group that I was tagged in, can I put light to this? And there was already about 20 comments on there saying, oh my god, this is scary, oh this is scary, oh no, I hope this is not true. Again, it's so damaging to be able to put something so sinister, such as bars and restaurants are closed until winter, but the actual article probably does give the correct information. It's just so bad. All right, let's move on to the next part. Extension. People are still asking me about the extension until the 9th of May. Yes, the proposal has been basically not written yet. It hasn't been put to Congress yet. But the president of Spain, President Sanchez, yes.
I'm sorry, delivery.
Delivery?
And Lily has to be with somebody.
Oh, she's going to be with me. No problem. Guys, hang on 1 second.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. Oh, lily pad. Hello. Oh, it's a special treat. Okay. You guys are in for a treat. You get to see little Lily. Well, the back of her. Let's see if she is calm at least. And I'm going to have to try and do the show with Lily on me. Okay, so as we said, the proposal has been put into place by President Sanchez, but he is listening to the regional presidents, such as the Murcia president, the Valencian president, and he's going to be basically taking into consideration all of the proposals from each region of Spain. So this is going to be good news, because it could mean, and again, it could mean, it's not official, it could mean that maybe some regions will be having a lighter lockdown in the future than other regions which have been highly impacted by the coronavirus. So we don't actually know what could happen there. What was next on my list? Face masks. Okay, face masks were also in Valencia and Catalunya. Basically, they're offering free face masks for anyone over 65. They have to have a medical card to be able to get these face masks. But face masks are still being delivered at the moment. Millions of face masks are being handed out on public transports in the main cities such as Madrid, Barcelona. So face masks are still going to be available, and yet they're coming in the millions, the truckloads at the moment. Let's have a look. Okay, the next news that I actually got from N332 today was owners of any offices are allowed to go back to work, in the sense that they can go to their office to be able to clean, maintain, pick up papers, etc. They're not able to open up shop, and this will include, for example, salons or estate agents, property management, where they have offices. Did you drop your dummy? Did you drop your dummy? So any workers that have office premises, they are allowed to go back to these offices. Now, we had a lot of questions about who can go with these owners to help clean, to help paint, etc. The only people who will be allowed are people who are contracted by you and they are not currently on ERTE. Because if they are currently on ERTE, this means that if you take them to the office to do work, they are working illegally because they are technically on temporary leave. So the only people who should be allowed are the owners or people who are self-employed without getting the benefits. That's it. That's all I can say for the people going to the offices at the moment. What was next? People trying to get back to Spain. Yes, we're still getting success stories from people being able to go back to the UK and back to Spain. Basically, there are still flights going out. You do have to do research. I try and post anything that comes from the British Embassy, the ones in Alicante and Madrid. They like to post a lot of information about flights that are leaving Spain to go back to the UK, back to Ireland, Scotland, Wales. The majority are going into London, so there are flights that are still available. So hopefully, you guys, if you need to get back, you are able to go. There is also success stories from people taking the tunnel. Now, yes, you are allowed to still take the tunnel. It is still open. The documentation I've put on this page before, so you are allowed to go and drive through France to get to the tunnel to go over. Now, some people have been asking, can I take a left-hand drive car, as in a Spanish-plated car, over to the UK? Now, as we've heard, it's only 12 days, but only 12 days that you're allowed to take it over. We have heard other people saying, no, it's not allowed. So the best thing that I would advise is to ring the embassy, the British embassy here in Spain, either in Alicante or Madrid, and hopefully they'll be able to give you some sort of answer with that, okay? I like that. 1,700, and I think 100 of that was all for Lily then. Let's have a look. What was next? Expired ITV. Now, ITV is the Spanish equivalent of MOT. So the MOT offices are closed, or the garages are still closed, but do not panic. If your car has actually expired with its ITV or MOT, do not panic. It's actually going to be extended at least another 60 days after the lockdown has been lifted. Now, the only people who will be valid for this are the people who have had appointments booked, but of course cancelled due to the lockdown, or they were expired during the lockdown. Now, if you've had, for example, your expiration was a week before the lockdown and you didn't have an appointment, then no, you will not be able to take your car to the garage after the lockdown to get it done. You would have to get transport either by a pickup truck or something like this, and you will not be able to drive it as well whilst it is out of date. But if it is gone out of date during the lockdown, you should have no problem at all. Are you okay there? Also, driving licenses. Yes, driving licenses, it's exactly the same as the ITV. If your driving license has expired during the lockdown and the state of emergency, do not panic. It's not a major issue. It would actually be fully extended until the 60 days afterwards. So again, don't worry, it's not a major issue. I hope you're not pooping on me right now. I hope not. And what was the last bits? We know about that's it. Okay, two more things. Okay. Highlights of the day. I've actually been receiving many comments regarding dog kennels and adoptions of dogs, and people actually going out and adopting dogs, and of course not being able to go to them whilst we had those strict 2 weeks. But they have now been able to go to the dog kennels, pick up their adopted dogs, which is great. And in fact, a couple of kennels have actually messaged me saying that they are now running out of dogs per se, as in they've been, majority of them have been adopted, which is fantastic news. So this again is highlighted news. Now there's still going to be kennels out there which will still have a lot of dogs out there. Now I am a dog person, I'm a cat person as well, but we adopted our dog as well, and I think if there is something that you can do, I did this a couple of days ago, but if you guys can definitely help by putting a donation to these dog kennels, or even if you can adopt a dog, I think now would be an absolutely fantastic time to do it, because it's giving life to something that may be stuck in a kennel for a long time, and at the moment it's very difficult for them to be out and be able to get walked. So yeah, if this is something you can do, this is actually going to be the highlight of my day, actually seeing kennels that are empty. And this is not just in Spain, a lot of the countries out there, they're now showing the kennels being fully empty with all the dogs being adopted. So thumbs up there. Okay, and that is going to be it for today. We're going to give you a question of the day. Now, I thought of this last night, and I thought, yes, this would be a great question for today. Stop licking me, stop. The question of the day is, if you can go back to the start of the lockdown, 2 or 3 days before the lockdown started, so maybe on the 10th of March, what would you do differently? That's going to be your question of the day. That's going to be your question of the day. If you could do this lockdown differently, what would you do? If you could go back to the start and do something differently, what would you do? Okay, and why? That's going to be your question of the day today. Is somebody coming in? Does someone want to say hi? Sammy wants to say hi. Ah, all the family's here. Come on in.
No.
Okay, Sammy, come here. He doesn't want to say hi. Anyway, guys, that is it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this crazy show today. It's just nice to be able to show you my family as well, because it's, yeah, she turned 3 months yesterday. Can't believe it. Anyway, guys, remember, I'm going to be back tomorrow at 4 p.m, just like every single day, giving you the updated news. Thank you for getting me up to 1,700 live views today. Thank you for all the comments and shares and the likes as well, the love hearts. I really appreciate it, everything that you guys do, because it's definitely helping to get this information out there. Remember, 8 p.m. tonight, every single night, get out onto those balconies, give a round of applause for all the frontline workers that are doing the job that is saving millions of lives. And what else was there? Oh, and 8:20 at 20 seconds is going to be 2020. That's another thing as well. Right, guys, Lily, do you want to say goodbye? You want to say goodbye? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Say bye, Lily. Say bye, Lily. Bye. It's not stopping.